Boom 97.3's Mixtape of You.
This morning we have a special mixtape session. We're chatting with Jimmy Brown from UB40. Hello.
Yes, hello. How are you?
Doing just awesome. And how are things going with your North American tour?
We're just coming to the end of it, actually. We've had a really great tour. A lot of fun. We've been everywhere. Been here, I think, about 5-6 weeks.
Yep.
And another couple of weeks to go, and we're going home.
How did it feel to be back touring in North America?
It's been amazing, you know, and we're celebrating 45 years of being in the business, which is quite an achievement, really, considering how fickle the business is. We're very grateful to still be here doing it and still getting up on stage and still selling tickets and still making records after all these years. It's quite something.
What's the song that you usually close your show with? I mean, you've got new, you've got old, you've got everything in between.
Okay, that depends on what you mean by close the show, because obviously you have your main set, then you have an encore.
Right.
And we actually closed the set with Red, Red Wine, you know, to leave it on a high. Everybody loves to sing along to that one. Mm-hmm. And then when we come back, we'll probably end up close the whole night with our version of Can't Help Falling in Love.
Boom 97.3's Mixtape of You.
Jimmy, you mentioned earlier that UB40 is celebrating being together for 45 years, and you're actually celebrating by giving us a new album, UB45. So how did that feel, completing a new album?
Well, we still write and record as much as we possibly can in between touring. And we like to play new material as well as old material, you know, because otherwise it'd be just like cabaret, you know, where you just get up and play like a handful of hits. And that's all. We don't really want to be doing that, you know. We still want to be writing new material. People say, what's your favourite song that you've ever recorded? And I always say, the latest one I'm working on, you know. That's, yeah, we like to, but obviously we're going to be playing all the hits as well, so it's a combination of the two.
Can't wait. Okay, from new material to a classic band that meant something to you, why did you select the Beach Boys? Yeah,
that's another one that I remember on the radio. It was a radio hit. I can remember hearing it all the time when I was a kid. And there was something about Beach Boys songs. I mean, particularly, obviously, Good Vibrations, you know, that had an atmosphere all its own. When that tune came on the radio, it was like it came from Mars, you know. It was from somewhere so different, you know.
Right.
We had the pleasure of actually playing with the Beach Boys a few years ago.
Cool.
A couple of the remaining Beach Boys, let me put it that way. We didn't realise how many great hits that they'd had, because on their show, they're just non-stop singing hit records, you know, and they were a phenomenon.
Right.
Yeah, that's my childhood memories.
Boom 97.3's Mixtape of You.
Chatting this morning with Jimmy Brown, founding member of UB40. And we're looking at some of the songs that were influential in your life, Jimmy. And, of course, you chose the Beatles.
Yeah, sure. A bit of an eclectic mix, I think, of songs. So, yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. You got Penny Lane on this list.
Yeah.
Why was that song so important to you?
Well, because, it's, you know, I remember back in because I was born in 57. So I suppose those songs were released around about the mid to late 60s. And, you know, I remember as a 7, 8, 9-year-old in the back of the car going on holiday with the Beatles on the radio. And I think particularly Penny Lane, because it conjures up images, you know, it's a story of a place and a time. And I always found that really fascinating and very atmospheric, you know. And it's just one of those things that I remember from being a little kid listening to the radio. And that's just such a vivid memory, you know. I had to include that in the list.
Boom 97.3's Mixtape of You.
As we anticipate Boomstock, August 24th at Sobe Stadium, we're chatting with Jimmy Brown from UB40. So one thing about the band that stands out is the diversity of the band members.
England's a diverse country. Where I come from is a very diverse city. And I think that diversity gives us an edge. I think diversity is everything as far as I'm concerned.
Well, then you love Toronto. We got a lot of diversity here, too.
I remember Toronto very well. I think it's got the most people from Jamaica than any other country in the world, I think. So there's a big Jamaican population in Toronto.
You're right. Actually, you just missed the Toronto Caribbean Carnival, so you'll have to come back for that next year.
Yeah, no, it's, we've always been aware that Toronto's been a great place. Yeah. And, I'm looking forward to it. I love Toronto. It reminds me very much of Birmingham. It's a multicultural city, isn't it? And, the diversity is important, and I love to see that.
So we got a bunch of bands joining us. You're going to be here for Boomstock at Sobe Stadium August 24th, along with BTO, Sweet, Chilliwack, and The Box. Has UB40 had a chance to cross paths with any of these other musicians that we've got?
Yeah, I remember Bam & Turner Overdrive. Yeah, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. That was their big hit.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we had a chance to chat with Randy Bachman last week about Boomstock. So, Jimmy, I am looking forward to this. Thank you so much for the chat. You've been with UB40 since the beginning, and you're bringing it here to Toronto.
Yeah, it's been the soundtrack to people's lives, hasn't it? That's another privilege for people to associate different things in their lives to the music that they listen to. And what can I say? It beats working for a living, that's for sure.
Jimmy Brown, you're awesome. Thank you so much, and can't wait to see you on August 24th.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.